Yeah, no problem. Okay.
I don't understand a lot of this union stuff.
You know, neither do I, but
Yeah.
Let's see. So I know we're negotiating for a new wage, basically.
Okay.
So currently, as of, let me pull up the other one.
So this is from 1978. It's old.
Yeah, so it's old. So let's see. Where was that? So they are, let me get to the wages. So currently they're getting paid $10.69 an hour.
Okay. And they want more.
And they want more. They did say currently the workers are getting paid $10.69 an hour plus incentives for production over the target goal, overtime for over 40 hours a week that's paid annually, and annual bonuses based on the company's profitability.
Okay, that's all good.
That's all good. Because of this existing incentive system, your members could earn up to twice their guaranteed annual salary by exceeding their target production levels and getting their bonuses. You would like to raise the wage and maintain a strong incentive and bonus system. You feel this is reasonable given the industry average and the large profits currently being earned by Baxter.
Okay.
And so, and then in the summer, the kind of the thing that, like, as far as like negotiation goes, is in the summary it says, in summary, Baxter continues to make a very good profit because of the dedicated employees. So if it wasn't for the employees and how dedicated they were, Baxter wouldn't be making as much money as they would be.
Okay. So the financial summary, the exhibit, it shows how, let's see, financial per stock. It looks like the stock 74. So it looks like 74, it was really high, and then it kind of went back down, and then it kind of went back up.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like so in I'm just looking in years how much it's gone up. The percentage has gone up. Wage costs have doubled since 69. They went from 100,000 to 200,000. Okay.
So, so
how
first
much,
off, what
how
would
much do you want to go up in wage? Like a lot?
if because in the problem it's saying that it said, let me pull it up again.
Yeah, it says the per hour wage is less important to you than the management control over production and elimination of the incentive program.
Where was that?
Under wages and benefits.
Keep up the industry standards. Yeah, so I mean, so basically, in order to get a higher wage, we'll probably have to negotiate on the incentives, as far as because right now we have incentives for producing over the target, overtime of 40 hours a week, and annual bonuses. So there's 3 incentives, but their wage is still lower.
Okay. So this says in here that this seems unreasonable. Okay, because of the existing bonus and incentive systems in place, sometimes earn up to twice their guaranteed annual salary. This seems unreasonable since their current wage of $10.69 an hour is close to the industrial average. Okay, while money is important, the per hour wage is less important to you than management control over production and elimination of the incentive programs. You could raise the wage if the other pay programs are eliminated. So what's more important, the wages or the incentive programs?
I think the incentive programs, your incentive programs, you're you're going to be making more money than what you normally would. The only thing I could think of is if they really want if they really want a raise of some sort, I would say get rid of the incentive of producing over the target and just combine that into an annual bonus.
Mhm.
Because when I was reading it, I'm just like, well, that just kind of like, I know that's kind of meeting your goals, but if you're meeting your goals and overachieving your goals, then the annual bonus will come because you're being profitable. So they
Right,
kind of seemed like the same thing to me.
right.
So if we cut that, then we could probably, ask for, $12 an hour, maybe.
Yeah. And then I'm just working. So these 5 issues, do you think they're in order of importance?
As far as like the transfers of work to the new plant, like those things.
Yeah, like in negotiating, it says work anatomy and target production levels in new plant, group incentive system, escalator clause, location of the new plant, and wages and benefits. I'm just wondering if that's like in what's most important. Because if we want to negotiate, it seems like the wages are at the bottom, but I don't know if that matters. But it said in that paragraph there, they said that that one I just read you, it says, while money is obviously important, the per hour wage is less important to you than the management control over production and elimination of the incentive program. So that says to me it's more important for them. They want to keep their incentive and they want it, and that's in number 2, and the worker anatomy and target production level is number 1. So don't
Mhm.
you think that that's what they're pushing for the most, and wages is like number 5?
Yeah, the only thing I'm confused about is in the like the instructions it says begin the negotiations and negotiate a final wage. So like the negotiations we're going to
Yeah,
have discussing a final wage, and
right.
even in the quiz it says what wage do you think is reasonable to have. So
Okay.
that's why I'm kind of like,
Yeah, it's kind of
because
confusing.
I totally agree with you in the sense that what it's saying that they'd rather have their incentives than their wages. So I'm just maybe we just got to find a compromise and figure out which incentives we could live without, and then that could be made up in the wages aspect.
I had your key. Oh, yeah, it's probably in my coat pocket. Sorry, my husband has to leave and I had his car keys.
Oh no, that's fine.
I think it's in that pocket. Okay, bye. Okay. Okay, so no, I'm just reading this really quick to see if it says anything. With no specific production targets can be set at this time, you want to get the agreement to state in principle that the new plant will operate a higher production level than the employees are currently enjoying. Ideally, you would like targets to reflect the amount of work that have been done by Harley in 8 hours. Employees will no doubt view higher targets and tighter management control as reducing their anatomy, but if extras to remain clear the new.
Okay, I'm gonna go grab something real quick.
Okay.
So as you're reading that, I'm just gonna go grab something. I'll be like
Okay.
a minute. Okay, did you see anything, Rachel?
I went to that next part, and it's kind of what I thought. They made them up their and sent like their production 20% higher in 1983, 5 years later. And then, okay, hold on a second. The current negotiation comes 2 years before the end of the contract. At the request of management, it concerns wages only. You're asking for a decrease in wages for the remaining 2 years of the contract. This is necessary because of significant changes in the industry. I don't understand why it's talking about two different This assignment is really confusing to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why there's two parts to it, because why are we negotiating something they already negotiated?
Uh-huh.
I don't understand it. What I'm seeing from this is that the whole point of it is that those 5 things are what they wanted, and one way for them to, the reason why the production level was low is because they barely did what they had to do so that they could get 60% more of their income.
Right.
So that's not a good thing. So if they want to be willing to get a pay increase, then they better be willing to up their percentage in the new company. So I would say, yeah, you can have that, but you have to do this. So what I don't get is the second part of this and why. Yeah, I'm kind of confused about it all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So to answer your question, I think that that's great if they want to have higher wages, but they better increase their the production line to make that fair. Like, I don't know, which side are we supposed to be on? Are we on the?
So we're on the labor union side.
So we don't want them to have to do more work on the line. See, I'm not very good at this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll just we'll go along that line.
Hello, sorry we're late.
No, you're
That's okay.
fine.
I'm super confused about all this, so I don't understand why there's 2 sets of papers, one in 1978 and one in 1983.
Different years that they negotiated the contracts.
So are we trying to negotiate after 83?
The 85, right?
Yeah, the 85.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Because one is the,
It's just giving you a history of what's happened.
yeah,
Okay, that's why. I'm like, why are there 2 sets? Okay, I gotcha. Okay,
So Austin, Annie, you guys are negotiating?
oh, okay,
Yes.
great.
Strike, strike, strike.
you're gonna strike?
Your
No, wait,
management,
you're on the management
Your
side.
management.
What's happening?
I know that you don't need to strike. We're not that horrible to you. Come on.
We're ready.
All right, Austin, so what did you guys talk about?
No.
So
Yeah, Austin.
yeah, it's our, you know, as you well know, Adam Baxter Company has benefited greatly because of its employees and the dedicated employees that work for your company.
Mhm.
And so, and we're very grateful that, you know, our employees do have that opportunity to work for you, but there are some areas of improvement as far as contract goes that we would like to discuss with you, mainly pertaining to wages and to the incentives
Okay.
of that. And so currently we're getting paid $10.49, and we are okay with that. You know, we're okay with that. Where our main concern is that we are unable to hit our production goals. And so what we're at is, if you can make the promise to improve your production line so that we can hit our production incentive, then we're willing to stay at the $10.90 point. $10.69. Is it $10?
1069.
$10.69. We're willing to stay at that wage. However, if you can't provide that opportunity, then we would like to get rid of that whole incentive program, keep the overtime program and the annual bonus program, but raise our wage to $12 an hour.
Okay. Well, I was going to suggest that we get rid of the incentive program and boost your wage. Let's see.
Are you getting rid of all of them?
That was the plan. Yeah. But you're wanting to keep the bonus part, right?
Yeah, I feel, and if the company as a whole does well, I think all employees should be able to partake of a bonus, not just the upper management, because it's the employees that are making the company, flourish. And so I feel that, everyone should partake of that annual bonus. And then, obviously overtime as well. Working that overtime, we're okay with keeping it being paid out on an annual basis. So we would like to keep those. So if we can negotiate a wage to keep those that we'd both be happy with, that would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So what if we went with $11.50 instead of $12 an hour for that wage, and then keeping that overall bonus? When the company does well, the workers get a bonus. And going along with that bonus, how about we have people need to be up to date with their safety qualifications for the machines that they'll be over too, and that can be included in that, in getting that bonus.
So safety trainings, is that?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
then we don't have any injuries on the line or anything like that.
Yeah. So I guess my only question to you is, what is that 50 cents to you, as far as why do you need to keep that 50 cents?
Gosh.
I mean, would it be worth 50 more cents per hour to keep your workers and employees working hard to produce and overproduce their goals and to make the company flourish? Or, is it worth that 50 cents to have that? Or, are you kind of okay with, maybe getting a little mediocre work because of the pay raise not being high enough?
Well, what if we put it to an even dollar above instead of pushing it further to $12 or lower to $11.50?
I guess, okay. So what number are you thinking of?
$11.69.
So a $1 increase.
We do a $1 increase. Then only keep the part of the bonuses, and the reason being, since we're having bonuses as well as a wage raise, it makes sense to keep it not quite as high as $12 per hour, so we can keep a little bit of money and then give you guys the bonuses, and we can actually see that you have been working hard and improving in the company. Therefore, everybody gets a bonus. But if people aren't doing that and it's only one person, then the company's not fully going to succeed because it's only that one person. And so I feel like this way it will incorporate everyone into working harder and be more productive at work. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. My question is, as far as the training purposes go, that's obviously going to be paid for by the company, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So if we do the $1 increase to $11.69, we keep the annual basis, the annual incentive bonus, and we keep overtime. Is there room to do overtime being paid twice a year? So every 6 months you'll get paid your overtime instead of waiting till the end of the year.
We might be able to work that out if can we change something with the layoff notices and then work out that with the overtime?
Yeah, we could definitely negotiate that. But I mean, for this purpose, I mean, we could. I mean, I'm content with the dollar. I just want to propose one more thing that maybe would help bring the employees with more dedication to the production. Is what if we did so we did $11.69, and then oh man, I forgot my train of thought.
You're fine. That's been my entire evening.
And then it makes sense in my head. Hopefully it makes sense when it
You're
comes out.
fine.
So keeping it at $11.69, but then the remaining cents to make it an even $12. Obviously the employee won't receive that, but it goes into a fund to fund the just employee-based trainings. So like your safety trainings and all that. So, on your books, you're still pulling out, that. So basically that's how you would fund it, but it's per person.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I'm not sure if we could do.
So that would be an employee-based productivity accrual
Yeah.
Correct.
that would fund safety training?
Correct. So it makes it an even $12.
Mm-hmm.
The employee's only receiving $11.69, and the remaining cents goes into basically an account for that employee to further his training within the company.
Okay. Could we do that and take back the overtime?
Yeah. So if you're willing to do that, then we're totally willing to keep the overtime at the annual basis.
Okay. I think we'd be able to work that out.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay. So $11.69, then we've got that extra money going into the accrual account, and then if the company does well, they'll receive their bonus. If the company doesn't do well, that doesn't become a bonus for people. And then we've got the overtime that we just talked about. Is that
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
All right.
We've reached a consensus. Okay, so the next part is basically just people reading the other parts of the case, right?
I don't know. I didn't look at that part.
So in step 3, it says that if you're the Adam Baxter Company, so management needs to read the other part that's coming from the other side. And then if you're local 190, you need to read the management part. But it seems like everybody kind of did that. Am
Yeah,
I right?
I read both, but
I read them both.
I didn't. I only read the first part.
Blacker.
I know. I am slacking. I don't like this labor stuff. It confuses me. Do you know why? Because I can't pick a side. Like, because I agree with both sides. So it's really hard.
Well,
I
that's
don't
why
know.
there's got to be concessions on both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be the mediator because I wouldn't be able to be on one or the other.
I don't think I could handle being on labor.
yeah.
I'm very biased against labor.
Yeah.
They seem really like self-centered. Like, I don't mean that in a rude way, but I do.
Well, in my opinion, like having a job, that's I don't know. That just seems like it's a privilege, you know, to have a
Yeah.
job. And when you're doing that kind of crap, it just seems like you don't really care about it.
How do you work for a company and decide that you're going to be able to take a break through the day because you hit your production quota that day, and you know you're costing the company money? That's how do you look at it any other way? And you're protected from it by a contract. It just blows my mind how you
Yep.
I know. I've never been in a union, so I've never been involved in a union, so I don't know how that works. But yeah, my mindset is like you, Annie. It is a privilege where we work, and my business hours are usually 8 to 5, and they say get your work done. You know? And I suffer or I gain by my productivity on how I manage my time.
Yeah.
And if you get done early, you just go home.
I think there was a time when unions were more needed, and maybe there may be some sectors where they still are, but regulation, I think, has largely replaced the need for a lot of labor unions.
Yeah. I don't get all this. It's super confusing. So I could see why you would negotiate when you first got a job. And then maybe if your job shifted, you'd go and speak to somebody, but I don't get this whole, I don't get it all. Anyway, so I only studied the first part. Because it said at the beginning to pick one side, and I just focused on that one side. So Annie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You're fine.
So it says that are we supposed to now go read those two parts? Is that what
it says? Yeah. So if you were on one side, read the other side, basically.
It says you can read it on your own, and you have to take a test, right?
That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So once you read it, you go take the test.
Okay.
Yep. And that's it.
That's it for the whole night?
It sounds like we've negotiated final contract, so I believe so.
Yeah, we got to negotiate the final contract, it says.
Yep.
Okay.
So we take a test on a quiz on both, basically, right?
Yeah, so read step 4 says to read the debrief and end notes, and that's what you'll take the test on. I took the test earlier today.
Yep.
The debrief on the end notes.
So if you go to the discussion prep for both discussion leaders and go down to step 3, sorry.
Yeah.
You can click on those, depending on what side you're on. You just click on the one that you were against and read and learn about it.
Oh, okay.
And then debrief.
Yeah.
And then you'll take the quiz.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't see that, because if you didn't read the discussion leader part, it wouldn't be in the directions.
Right.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm so confused. I don't know what you guys are talking about because I didn't read the discussion leader part. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, this is the most confusing chapter, and I think that it needs to be covered in 2 weeks, not in 1 week. It's too much. I think 1 week you should be on one side and the next week you should be on the other. I don't like that they combine it. It's too overwhelming for me.
Yeah. So is that it?
Do we want
our final contract?
Yeah. Do we want to negotiate the final contract so we can lay it all out now?
Isn't that what we already negotiated?
We just got to probably put it all together.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does management get something out of this? That's what I want to know.
They don't.
know.
Labor
I didn't-
unions take it all.
I did a horrible job of negotiating that. Sorry.
I was gonna say, it sounds like Annie won and you lost, Austin.
Everybody lost. What?
Yeah.
No, it sounds like Austin won and we lost because of the things that I said.
I think you guys both did good.
Perfect.
Thank
That's all
you.
that matters.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got the wage up to $11.69 an hour, remaining money going into that account for
Yes.
those
safety.
trainings
31
For-
cents. Yep.
for safety.
Right?
And this is in hopes that it will, that it'll improve people's productivity and their safety and their will to work, and make the company better.
Yes.
And if that happens, then there will be bonuses. But that's only if the company is able to do that because the workers have done such a fabulous job. Then what else is there? Did we talk about?
So we got rid of the incentive for the production goals.
Yes.
And then the
Just be-
bonus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
Is the
we
bonus
got that.
once a year?
The what was that?
Is the bonus going to be one time a year?
Yeah. So the bonus is
Yeah.
at the end of the year, along with their overtime pay. And then we got rid of the incentive for production since the machines were kind of not allowing it to happen. So
Right. And then maybe to throw something else in there that we discussed when we were talking about it, we felt like the 52-week layoff notice was really, really long, and it seemed more reasonable to do something a little bit closer, maybe 30 days before or 60 days before.
let's say
Would that
let's say a month and a half before. How about
month
that?
and a half? That's
Yep.
great. All right, so we'll have a month and a half notice for people who are being laid off.
So 45 days.
Yep, 45 days.
Yes.
That's great. That's enough time to go get another job.
Yeah,
Yep.
a year seems like a really long time.
I know.
A little bit overkill.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've set the wage. Anything else that we discussed that needs to be put in the final contract?
Not that I think of. I think we hit it all.
Okay. Does that sound good to everybody else?
Sounds good to me. I wish I was in a labor union or whatever.
Yeah.
The only labor I've been in is babies, and it's not as cool as this, so I don't know. Okay, so how are we going to pick this labor? Okay, I'm fine with the whole doohickey thing, but the labor part's going to be hard. That fourth question, or that third solution for labor. Oh, okay. If I get stuck, I'll text you guys. So everyone check your emails.
Yeah.
Okay. Will do.
And if you need my help doing anything, other than editing and making sure it flows and meets the standards, let me know.
Yep. And then once we stop this, I'll send you the link, Annie, so you can post it.
Perfect.
And then I'll do next week since I have I have to do one more week for the discussion leader. So I'll take that next week.
Okay.
Make sure you send your YouTube to Annie as well, so she can post them both.
Yeah.
I am the link to this.
Yep.
Here, so it should be in the link if you want to grab it and copy and paste it real quick.
Yeah, and then I'll email mine to the group. So
I do not see it. Hold on.
I'll let you guys know this Friday I have to call again. I've gotten out of jury duty for the last 3 Fridays, so cross your fingers I get out again.
Worst juror ever.
Seriously.
I don't see the link.
It's in the chat window over on the left side, Annie.
Yeah.
Click the chat icon at the very top left. It's a blue icon with, and
A red number 2?
it should pop up a chat window over on the right side.
It should. Hold on. I'm on my phone, so
Oh.
that
Let's see.
might be why.
I
Are
can
you-
copy it, email it to you.
That works too.
Yeah, we can just do that too.
Sorry.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I could just drop it in and reply to all to our last email.
Okay.
I was doing that.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
I'll do this one once we're off, and then we'll be good.
Alrighty. Okay, see it.
guys.
Thank you.
All right. See you guys.
All right, Bye.
Bye.
Bye.